Breaking news, the Chicago Bears have officially fired offensive coordinator Luke Getsy. So let's talk about it, people. What is going on, y'all? Faiz Sports, all back at it with another video talking, of course, some NFL. Here to talk about the Chicago Bears and here to talk about the latest news in regards to their offensive coordinator or previous offensive coordinator, Luke Getsy, who got the boot this morning. He is out of here. And my first reaction to this, folks, is that I expected it. I think a lot of people did. I told you guys a few days back that the only guarantee this offseason was that Luke Getsy was going to get out of here, all right? I wasn't sure about Matt Eberflus, and I wasn't sure about Justin Fields, but I knew a change needed to happen, and it was going to be Luke Getsy at the very least. So, lots to talk about here in terms of the decision and the impact and maybe the guys that we can bring in to replace a Luke Getsy. But let's also talk about the other news that kind of this confirms, and I might make a separate video entirely talking about this, but Matt Eberflus is expected to stay. You don't fire an offensive coordinator and then, fire the head coach after. It usually happens, head coach gets fired and his whole coaching staff lets go. So Luke Getsy got fired, but Eberflus didn't. That means Eberflus is staying. So what are the ramifications here? I'll be honest, gut feeling, hearing all this, even though it was expected, I don't like it. I don't like it, man. I don't like the sort of dysfunction this sets up to be, because it is the same sort of story we've seen year over year with the Bears, which is you got a coach and you kind of, pair him with the quarterback. You fire the coach, pair the quarterback with the new coach, and the cycle repeats over and over again. We saw it with Fox and Trubisky, then Nagy and Trubisky, then Nagy and Fields, and then Eberflus and Fields. So, that's the thing. And so now, if you go ahead and you draft Caleb Williams, now you pair him with Eberflus, and hey, what if Matt Eberflus gets fired next year? Boom, you got a new head coach that inherits a quarterback, and the cycle repeats. You see how that's toxic? Yeah, that's the problem here. And so that's what I did not like. I did not like this, all right? So, to me, I would say that bringing back Matt Eberflus would signal to me that, hey, that means Justin Fields is coming back. I'm not so sure that's still a lock or a guarantee by any means. It could still happen, but you got to pick a direction here. And that's the whole issue I have is if you're keeping Eberflus, you're building on what you had this season and trying to progress. That means you want to keep Justin Fields, keep building around him, and hopefully be a playoff team next year. Otherwise, you're getting rid of Eberflus and starting all over. There's no, hey, keep Eberflus, new quarterback, and it's like, what are we? So that's the whole thing, what I don't like here. And Ryan Poles needs to understand that as, solid of a job as he's done being the general manager of the Chicago Bears, it could all go south very soon because he has now officially married himself to Matt Eberflus. If there was any sort of discussion about, hey, Ryan Poles did not hire Matt Eberflus, that's out the door now because he had a chance to get rid of Eberflus and he kept him. All right? So he is married to Matt Eberflus. So if Matt Eberflus is can next year, and I think there's a good chance of that, Ryan Poles could be gone too. So that's the other thing I did not like about this. And so Matt Eberflus is staying and Luke Getsy is getting fired. Now, the entire coaching staff got let go on the offensive side. And, obviously, they're going to look at replacements to bring in. But, folks, what offensive coordinator is going to want to make a lateral move here, right? Ben Johnson, who I really, really want for the Bears, he's going to get a head coaching gig. He's not going to want to come here for a lateral move, right? These other guys that are all offensive coordinators waiting in the wings to get a head coaching job, they're not coming here for another OC job, right? A lateral move. People have thrown Eric Bieniemy at me. Another lateral move. So, my point is, I really, really wish they would have moved on from Matt Eberflus because I don't think he is an elite coach. He did some good things here, made some progress, but I don't think he's the guy to take you over the top. I think you can do better. You don't have to just settle for good enough. And Luke Getsy, that needed to be done. He was awful here. Coaching malpractice is what Luke Getsy did to Justin Fields the past 2 seasons. Just did not get anything out of Justin Fields that we can, take home with, and that breakout that was supposed to happen this year never happened. And so even with the OC candidates, man, I'm not too excited here because again, who is going to want to come here in a lateral move? The guys that are really good, they're going to get hired as head coaches, right? There's guys out there I like. Kellen Moore is another name, right? The OC for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So there's guys out there, but I don't know if this job is appealing anymore because, hey, you get hired, and for 1 year, let's say you struggle, and Eberflus gets canned. Hey, guess what? You're getting canned with him too. The only upside is the potential that you can draft your own quarterback with that number 1 overall pick. That's the only upside. But other than that, it's a terrible situation because you would get fired with Eberflus. And so I don't like this at all, folks. I don't like this at all. All right? Like, I'm sorry, man. Like, Matt Eberflus does not move the needle for me. Luke Getsy being gone was the bare minimum they should have done, and they did. But that's the thing with the Bears. They always do the bare minimum. And again, we're doing this whole timeline thing of coach being married to a quarterback and then getting fired, and then the new quarterback is going to, the quarterback's going to get a new coach, and it's like, what are we doing here? And Justin Fields now, if we do decide to keep him, it's still not all roses because, hey, he's going to get a new OC, and it's going to be a new offensive coordinator, third one in 4 years. The Bears going to bear, man. The frustration from this team never stops for me, honestly. This is why we can't get out of our own way, because we keep repeating the same mistakes. And I'm not saying Matt Eberflus is terrible, but we could do better, folks. We could do better. So yeah, Luke Getsy's out, but the list of OCs that we could bring in, not great. Because the really good ones, they're going to get head coaching jobs. So, another interesting offseason. Now we wait and see what happens with the number 1 overall pick. Do we keep Justin Fields? Do we trade Justin Fields? We'll see. But, folks, I'm not happy about this. Not happy one bit. And no, I don't think I'm being prisoner of the moment, because what have the Bears done for us to give them the benefit of the doubt? What have they done? So until they give us a reason to give them the benefit of the doubt, I am going to be skeptical. Let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below with your thoughts. As always, thanks for watching.